So hi everyone, and welcome to this segment of Event TV. Today we're going to talk about entrepreneurship. Lots of people ask me, how did you get started? How have you managed to keep your business for this long? And we're going to talk about all the struggles and successes of being an entrepreneur. So people often ask, how did you have the courage to become an entrepreneur? I think when you're younger, to be honest, it's a little bit easier. I got started when I was 21 years old and I didn't have a mortgage and I didn't have all these responsibilities that I have now. So certainly I was able to take a risk and it was a little less scary to me then. However, I can honestly say that the reason why I had the courage to become an entrepreneur was because someone really believed in me, and sometimes I believe that that's all it takes. If someone said, Michelle, I know you have what it takes to do this, and having someone believe in you and having that mentor that you want to look up to and you want to make sure that you fulfill their expectations of you, that's huge. So I think, surrounding yourself with people that challenge you and people that put you outside of your comfort zone is really essential to not only having the courage to begin, but also maintaining it. So one of my biggest struggles of becoming an entrepreneur has been trying to figure out when and how to grow my company. And if I want to grow my company, very early on, I actually asked myself, do I want to be a consultant or do I want to be a company? Do I want to build a brand or do I want to brand myself? So I did decide that I wanted to build a brand, and that brand obviously being Paradigm Events. And so within that, it meant that I had to be able to grow in order to be able to build the brand. So one of my challenges in growing has been learning to become a manager and learning to get staff, delegate, let go of some of that stuff. A typical entrepreneur challenge is that they're micromanagers and that they want to do it all and they have a hard time giving it up. And it's also a typical trait of event planners too, so I have both sides. Certainly, if there's one thing I've learned, it's to focus on what you do best and to essentially the saying, to sell your strengths and hire your weaknesses. Funny thing is, most people become an entrepreneur because they want to have total freedom. And the reality is, when you're an entrepreneur, you are working when your clients need them. Obviously, if I was to do it all over again, I would set up my business a little bit differently and try and not be available 24/7. The reality is, in the world of events, is it's not a 9-to-5 job, and I might be able to do my workload within 9 to 5, but I still have to worry about the marketing, the accounting, the bookkeeping, all the other stuff that takes to run a business at the same time. So being an entrepreneur is not always what people think in the beginning, and that's, you'll have total freedom. I think that comes with time once you've actually been able to establish your company after a while. But there are lots of perks. I do get to leave early for the cottage. I don't have to sit in traffic like everyone else. I can take extended weekends, so there are lots of perks. And eventually, as your company becomes more established, you can start to engage them a little bit more. So thank you everyone for your time today, and for those of you considering becoming an entrepreneur, it is a really gratifying opportunity and something that I would highly recommend.